Good evening and welcome to the 8th annual Abilities Tennis Footprints on the Court event. We're so glad to have you here with us virtually this year. My name is Cameron Rosenau, President of the Board of Directors, and we are so excited for the program we have for you tonight. As many of you know, the mission for Abilities Tennis is to provide those with intellectual disabilities the opportunity to be physically active and socially engaged through the great sport of tennis. Abilities Tennis is a statewide CTA, Community Tennis Association, and we serve the great state of North Carolina, offering 20 clinics and 7 tournaments, all for free. Huge night for us. This is the way that we gather all the support for our next year to come, and we greatly need your help this year because even with COVID, we didn't stop working all year. Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing Ken Smith, anchor and newest board member for WRAL, and sponsors this year. So please, Ken, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron. We're so excited to be here tonight for this 8th annual Footprints on the Court fundraiser. We've got watch parties all over the state tonight. We've got watch parties in Waynesville, watch parties in Cary, Raleigh, and right here at North Hills Club. Don't forget about our silent auction tonight. We have some great prizes. Just go to footprintsonthecourt.com and check out all those wonderful prizes. Tonight you're going to hear from athletes, volunteers, parents, coaches. We also have a special conversation with Tennessee native son John Isner. You know, Abilities Tennis and all our programs really give our athletes an opportunity to forge friendships, be independent. We want to show you what your donations will fund tonight, and you're going to see that it's much more than what happens on the tennis court.
We're all proud of North Carolina tennis. We feel like we're the best of the 9 southern states, and we do a fantastic job in lots of different areas. But I really feel like in the last, so many years, Ability Tennis has really taken on a pretty major role as one of the great programs that's offered in North Carolina.
In our case, I'm going to say you're changing lives. This is an opportunity for these athletes that just doesn't exist elsewhere. There's not any other place where they can go, they can feel comfortable among themselves. They're with people that understand them, relate to them, bring out the best in them. And I firmly believe that's what our mission is, and it's what we should be doing to help each other.
First of all, there's this whole kind of aura when you come into an abilities event. The spectators, which are mostly, parents and friends, are just captivated because they're seeing their athlete participate in something sometimes for the very first time and actively engage. There have been athletes that have spoken words for the first time, who have done things like, some are having to serve with just one hand and holding a tennis racket. I mean, it's amazing to see those baby steps that they take really can make those big leaps.
In a life that may not be exactly like everybody else's, when these athletes compete, when these athletes play on that tennis court, they feel typical for that period of time. And I'll have to tell you, sometimes that's the only time I feel typical too.
We also need a lot of organizations that can kind of lead the charge. I've used Abilities Tennis more times than they know to entice other people to increase their participation numbers and to try new things. I give a lot of ideas that I get from Abilities Tennis to organizations trying to be as large or as successful as Abilities Tennis. So I do use them a lot for coercion and ideas.
That's why it's so important for you to raise money tonight and donate as much as you can. And listen, remember I told you about that silent auction? We have prizes tonight. We've got golf, we've got tennis equipment, court time, vacations, we've got jewelry. You can even fund a need with this program. And coming up later on, we've got a raffle for a bottle of bourbon. I'd say it's an amazing bottle of bourbon and an amazing bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon wine. It's incredible. So make sure you go to those silent auctions. We also want to thank our donors and take a look at the totals that we have right now. Keep in mind that even with COVID, we still had our programs going. We did it virtually. It was all we can do to make sure that our athletes stayed completely engaged. And this is an opportunity right now that we'd like to talk about. Here's what your donations funded a little while back. Our athletes had an opportunity to go to the U.S. Open. Believe it or not, they played on Arthur Ashe Court. Our athletes flipped the coin for the Djokovic-Landoro night match that night. It was an incredible experience for all our athletes. And, we were the first adaptive program to actually do a demonstration right there on the court before a night match. Take a look at how much fun our athletes had.
The on-court experience at the U.S. Open provides groups from across the country the opportunity to play on the same courts of the pros at the U.S. Open. And Abilities Tennis had Wednesday night session, Arthur Ashe Stadium, New York Jazz and Feel under the lights, and the athletes took the court after running their lap, and it was incredible to see the rallies with the partners, with our coaches that we had on staff. But I have to be honest with you, it wasn't the rallies that made it memorable. It was the love, the support of the families that were sitting in the photo pit, and really just the collective energy with the group that really makes this moment special for me in my career when I look back at 2019.
It was my first time going to New York City, by the way. My parents have both been there before, but this was going to be my first time.
I like New York. I played on US Open in New York. Yeah, I'm an Arthur Ashe Court. It was fun. It was exciting. I wish we all just go back to New York.
It was really special. When I was like literally freaking out when I first found out I was going to flip the coin. I was pumped. I was like, I have to learn. I was literally flipping out.
I think you just go on the court and just have a coin and just toss it in the air.
I flipped the coin for the Djokovic match singles, and it went pretty fast. How do you flip the coin? You just tuck your thumb in underneath your pointy finger and just do that.
Watching abilities of North Carolina tennis players do the coin tosses, and to see the smiling faces, the running off the court, showing the commemorative coin that we give, it really makes it special.
We were leaving the lobby of the motel. It had stairs to go down. All of us were trying to get down with our luggage. Somebody came quickly by me and asked, did I need help and could they take my luggage for me? And I said, sure, thinking it was a bellhop or someone from the motel or hotel. And everybody started saying, do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? And I said, no, but they said it was Carlos Ramos. And he did it quickly, but we certainly appreciated that help in getting our luggage down because it was a job doing that. So everybody was impressed, and this is what Abilities Tennis does for us.
It's just that feeling that you're supposed to be right where you are at that time. And everything just feels really good. I mean, it just feels good. And, I just feel so much gratitude for being able to meet all of the people that I've met, their parents, their coaches, the athletes themselves. I cannot get enough hugs. And whenever I'm around an athlete and getting so many hugs, it makes me remember how many hugs I'm not getting in the rest of my life.
What an amazing time at the U.S. Open. I remember when I visited the U.S. Open, it was so electric, and you can see how much our athletes really enjoyed themselves. And, you know, for us, one of the reasons abilities tennis is so rewarding for many of us, it's because our athletes absolutely love the game of tennis, and every time they're on the court, they are giving their all and doing their best.
Well, I have a lot of people that cheer me on, like the people from all over the state of North Carolina, like Raleigh and Wilmington. They all cheer me on, and also my tennis friends from Georgia. They came over to cheer me on, and that's how I get good sportsmanship, no matter where they're from. I believe that I won that award. The 2016 award, I was completely shocked, and I did a speech in front of the crowd, and I was so shocked I won that award. And I got the Tennis Player of the Year award in 2016. Just like they say, do your best and have fun and have the people cheer you on, and I have a good relationship with everybody, and I created a shirt that's from me and to give it to all the athletes, and I designed the shirt, and I won the designer on the bus, and I was truly shocked. I won the drawing for the tennis t-shirts, but when I came home with the medal, my boyfriend Ed, he had a great big grin on his face, and he couldn't believe how I did that. And he gave me a hug and a kiss and congratulated me.
Listen, earlier tonight we had an opportunity for a special drawing for a little bit of hitting time with the one and only Abby Forbes. She's an outstanding tennis player with the UCLA Bruins. She is a Wimbledon junior doubles champion. She's also volunteering as well tonight with an online clinic for our athletes. She donated time to hit with one of our athletes. And drum roll, please. The athlete who will get on the court with Abby is Jetty Hunter. Round of applause for Jetty to get on the court with Abby Forbes. We're really excited for Jetty to do that tonight. And you know, for athletes like Jetty, they improve their skills because of our wonderful coaches. They're there every time, week after week, helping to forge bonds with our athletes. And this is really important to listen to how rewarding this is for many of our coaches.
My coaches are great. They really helped me out, and I'm so glad they're in my life. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I've learned in doing the abilities tennis clinics is I need to work on practicing keeping my smile in shape, because by the time I'm done with, or even halfway through the clinic, my cheeks hurt so bad from smiling, and that's a problem I love to have, but I do need to work out and be ready for it.
Think about the athletes and what they bring to us, and especially to me as a coach. I think I get so much out of it as well. In a way, it makes me a better coach, a better person. And you know, when they smile, it's just that smile that they bring, or it's just, you cannot put a price on it.
And if you just give them a chance, a lot of times they just totally surprise you.
I immediately went from short court to long court in just a short amount of time.
The staff here works around the clock for helping us to improve on our game.
The most thing I do like to play tennis is doing the forehand and the backhand.
We have some really high-end athletes that really, 3.0 plus, and they come out and see them grow. We run like regular clinics with them and see them begin to play strategy, and it's just, see them, year over year get better.
My coaches are really fun, and it's fun to mess with them sometimes, and sometimes they're funny and crazy.
My athletes are just like any other tennis athlete. You have to learn your skills, you have to work on your skills and better your skills. The level that they increase might take longer to learn, but they are just as energetic and athletic as any other teen or youth that I've worked with.
It's unbelievable. We have athletes who could hardly hit the ball before, and now they can play points and play decently, and it's really, it's something to see the level of improvement of these individuals. So that's, for the coaches, that's a real high.
Couldn't do what we do with all the wonderful opportunities we have because of your generous donations and your generosity. Our ACE level donors, they're on your screen right now. We're going to show you exactly what they're all about, and we so thank them for what they're doing to help out Abilities Tennis, keep all our programs free of charge to all our participants. We also want to show our scoreboard donors. They too are very important to the mission here at Abilities Tennis. Again, even during this COVID era, we still had Abilities Tennis programs going. And there you see what we've been raising so far tonight, more than $2,600. Big thank you, sponsors. You know, Richard Engel is an NBC News foreign correspondent. He's also the father of a special needs child, and he has a special message for us tonight.
Hello everyone, I'm Richard Engel from NBC News. I'm also the father of Henry Engel, our 5-year-old son who suffers from Rett syndrome, which is a genetic neurological disorder that impacts the mind and body. And for us and for Henry, inclusion is everything. We try and do as much as we can to make sure that Henry is around mainstream kids, is included in activities in school, at the playground, or in sports, because kids with disabilities can do a lot more than most people think they can. They can do a lot more than they think they can. And when Henry does something that is outside of his comfort zone, something new, and he manages to accomplish it just a little bit, the smile that spreads across his face is truly incredible. That's why sports like adapted tennis are so important. They provide stimulation, they provide activities, and both of these are crucial. Because if you struggle to understand and cope with the world around you or move through it, the kinds of activities that you can engage in are extremely limited, and Henry often gets bored. So sports, the feedback that he gets from other people around him, are truly important. They're vital, in fact. They help him understand the world, they help expand his world, and maybe they expand his horizons too.
A big thank you to Richard Engel. We so appreciate that. You know, we promised you a special conversation with tennis superstar and native son, John Isner. He took time out of his busy schedule to spend some time with one of our athletes, Will Tankersley. And get this, they met at the Sherwood Swim and Racket Club when John was just a junior player. He's never forgotten the time that they spent together and the great time that they have. Let's welcome John Isner, Will Tankersley, and his mom, Melissa.
Big Will, what's up, brother?
Oh, man.
Not much, dude. How you doing?
Doing good.
Good stuff. I hope this is, I'm on my iPhone. Hope this is okay.
So, Will, you've got on Will's or John's hat. I see that. And
yeah, he's wearing the Fila hat.
That's right, man.
Yeah, always representing Will. That's great. That is awesome. Yeah, actually, you know, funny enough, Will, I was at Sherwood just yesterday on the famous indoor clay courts. I played tennis with my wife and sister-in-law and brother.
Okay.
So we played a little tennis there. I mean, those courts haven't changed a bit, but it's been a while since I've been back to Sherwood. So it was
yeah,
cool. It was cool. It was cool to get back there. There's so many memories. Obviously, I mean, how many hours of tennis I played there, and seeing you there every day, Will, was such a treat growing up. It was a great place for myself to spend all my time, and I guess hone my skills as a junior tennis player.
So, Will, who's your favorite tennis player in the whole world? John Isner.
I love that, Will. I mean, it's so awesome to see you I mean, of course, I wish I could see you in person, but to see you like this over the Zoom call is great. I mean, you and I go way back. You, I, myself, you, and my brother. We go way back. Yeah.
And we
certainly
got
do.
to see John play in person at the U.S. Open last year.
Yeah, we did. Saw you, man. Yeah, that's exactly right. I know, it's good stuff. Well, look, and hopefully you get to look as things get a lot more normal going forward. Hopefully in 2021 you'll get to see me in person some more, because I plan on playing for a few more years. So we got to get things back to normal. That's for sure.
Report.
It was fun. Was that your first time at the U.S. Open, Will? Yes. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty cool place to be. Obviously, anytime you go to New York City, it's an awesome place to be with the energy and whatnot. But going to that tournament, it's I would say I've always had the most butterflies and goosebumps playing at the U.S. Open in front of big crowds under the lights. It just it makes for a fun atmosphere. Obviously, this year we played the U.S. Open, but it was very, very different under very different circumstances, with no fans allowed. But as I said, I look forward to next year's U.S. Open and the years after that, because we got to it's going to be great for our sport. And that tournament, the U.S. Open, when we can have hundreds of thousands of fans come in throughout the course of 2 weeks. So it's a very, very special place.
We stayed over one extra day to make sure we got to see you play in person, John.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Like I said, we'll do it again next year. You guys are gonna have to come up next year as well. All right, I'm there. Yeah, I love it, Will. I love it.
In fact, that's how your mother, Karen, learned about Abilities Tennis. After the match, we ran into Karen and your dad in the concourse, and they recognized Will from Sherwood.
Of course.
And, and we said why we were there. So it was amazing.
That's so cool that you guys ran into each other like that. So, Will, so your game's better now than it's ever been? Your tennis game? Yes. Oh, you're like a fine wine. I'm trying to be like a fine wine. I don't know if I'm it's working out for me, but that's awesome to hear. It's great to hear that you're practicing hard and still going at it. Thank you. Yeah, it's a big inspiration to me as well. I'm still trying to do it also, and it's still my number one job is playing tennis. I don't want to quit just yet, so I'm going to try to do it as long as I can. Yeah, I'm still playing at Sherwood still. Yeah.
What do you do every Thursday?
I take lessons with Clayton, the tennis pro at Sherwood. Every Thursday, Will? Every Thursday. Yeah, that's awesome. Like I said, I was just there yesterday, and the place looks so similar. I would as you know, I would went to Page High School, and oftentimes instead of my mom waiting when she would pick me up from high school my first couple years, instead of her waiting in the line to pick me up, I would walk across the street to Page and straight to tennis practice, and then she would pick me up, and that's where, of course, we would run into each other pretty much every day, Will. Yeah. So, the memories that all of us have at that club are pretty amazing, and I keep talking about yesterday, but we were playing, and on the court beside us were two sophomores at Page playing as well, so wearing their Page Pirates tennis shirts, and so it just brought back a lot of memories for me, because that's the exact same thing I did. And when I was growing up here in Greensboro, the only thing I wanted to do was be outside playing sports, and most of the time that was playing tennis. So I spent the majority of my time at Sherwood. So it was just a great special place.
Do you have anything?
I just want to thank you, John, very much. Will still has the signed poster from the autograph session in his room. pictures of you with Jordan on his dresser. You're a very special person.
Well, I really appreciate that. And it means a lot to me to hear that from you guys. And really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And thanks everyone for having me on. Will, it's always good to see you, brother. And you too, man. Yeah, we got to see each other in person, man. Like this Zoom stuff is cool. It's cool and all, but it's much better in person. So, Will, thanks for having me on.
I know Will and John thoroughly enjoy their conversations. Listen, we want to give you an opportunity now to check out our scoreboard donors. Again, as we've been not do this without the generosity of our donors, our sponsors, and check out that total on your screen, more than $3,400 tonight. We so appreciate your generosity tonight for the 8th annual Footprints on the Court fundraiser. Listen, we have more questions for John Isner. We have a few questions that we got from our athletes. For one, athlete Emma Wissing, she would like to know, John, what drives you to get up every morning to work so hard at the game of tennis?
Oh, well, you said it was Emma, correct? Well, Emma, that is a really great question. I would say there's a lot of pressure in what I do, and I think the best way for me to cope with that pressure is just to know in my heart of hearts that I have done everything I possibly can to prepare myself to do well on the match court. So if I know that I'm practicing the right way and I'm working out enough in the gym and I'm eating the right way, I'm doing all those things, at the very, very least, I know that I am keeping up with my fellow competitors. And that gives me a lot of peace of mind before I take the match court, because it just as any sport, especially tennis, it's so mental. So knowing in the back of my mind that I have put in the hard yards and have done all the right things to prepare myself to play well on any given day is the reason I get up and continue to get up every single morning early and get my work done and just take care of my body as best as I can. Is something I take a lot of pride in. As everyone knows, I'm a very, very big guy, and oftentimes big guys are injury prone, and that's certainly true. But in the case of myself, I haven't had too many injuries throughout my career, and I attribute a lot of that to how hard I work on the court and especially off the court in the gym. So I love this sport. It's given me so much, and I said earlier, I want to play for a long time, at least 2-3 years more. And I owe it to myself, and I think everyone else to keep giving it my all, to give myself the best chance to play my best.
Interesting. All his tournaments that he likes are in California. How cool is that? Well, we've been talking about abilities tennis and how important it is, John, to many of our athletes. In your opinion, how important is it to have adaptive tennis available to our local communities?
And it's really simple. You want the same thing. You want the same thing for tennis. You want tennis to be from everyone, for the people from all backgrounds, all abilities. Race, color, creed, whatever it may be, disabilities, it's whatever it may be. You want tennis to be for everyone, because it is a fantastic sport, and it's a sport that brings people closer together. So it's really, I guess, as simple as that. You just want it to be for everyone, and I think our sport is actually doing a very, very good job of that. Of course, there's always going to be some room to grow and lots of room to improve on, but it's important for future generations for our game to continue to grow for absolutely everybody.
Well, John, I know you make your home now in the Dallas area. You're involved in many communities, including right back here in North Carolina. How do you think adaptive tennis brings communities together?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It brings, look how it's bringing us together right now. Obviously we go way back, Will and myself, but I'm still playing professional tennis, and Will's still playing tennis at a high level as well. So it's just a good way to, I guess, connect players from all different levels and all different abilities. It's just a very unique thing. I spoke about how big the tennis world is, but also in some sense it's a very small world as well. So it's just great to keep the tennis family together as much as you possibly can. So, having someone like Will, who's a great ambassador for our sport and for abilities tennis, is just so cool to see, him doing what he's doing, and me being a part of all this, and you guys allowing me to be a part of it.
Excellent. John, we can't let you go until we ask you about your foundation.
Yeah, well, it's something I started. Thank you for asking. It's something I started, or my family started last year, and was able to raise a lot of great money in North Carolina for a cause that was super close to my heart, the Cancer Hospital in Chapel Hill. But switching gears, when I moved to Dallas, Texas, and now that I have family roots there, I thought it'd be important to start up a foundation which raises money for in financial need, families that have young children going through pediatric treatment in hospitals, which, as you know, can be astronomically high. So if we can help, raise money for the treatment, or help, just raise money for these families that are just paying out of pocket a lot of money to treat their kids.
All right. Big thank you, John. We so appreciate you spending time with us tonight to help us raise money here for Abilities Tennis. Why we do this? It's all because of our athletes. We do this because Abilities Tennis and all our programs help our athletes forge friendships. It gives them independence. Take a listen to how much this means to them.
For me, Charles he's very quiet, but when he's out on the tennis court with everybody and communicating with them and, reacting to the coaches and everyone down there, it's very rewarding to watch him, because it brings out the best in him. He gets up on Saturday and he's just ready to go. He's so excited. Usually, there's not much to get him excited, and this is one thing that does. But I remember the very first tournament, I was a little concerned because I'm like, okay, well, they don't know Charles, and Charles can sometimes shut down. I was so impressed with the way she handled Charles. As a matter of fact, Charles did not want us around him. He stayed with her the whole tournament. It was amazing to watch the way herself and her husband, after they played their games, they would go on a court with Charles and just hit with him. They had lunch with him. Charles did not want us around, and it was just to watch him be so independent, but still we could trust who he was with, and we could watch him from a distance, but we could still enjoy what was going on. And I love the fact that he was like, no, I don't want to be with you all. Okay, I'm just going to go. Remember?
Right there is why your donations are so important to Abilities Tennis, because you know how it helps our athletes. It just fuels them. They love this game, and we love sharing this game with them. And we hear a lot from our parents of our athletes, how much this program means to their children. Because of this program, they're seeing so many opportunities for their children come about. We talked about them going to the U.S. Open before. We talked about all the programs that we've been having. Take a listen to how much this means to our families.
My story has started with my daughter, who has intellectual disabilities. So she actually got me into abilities tennis, and so it's through my daughter that I have all these opportunities now. So she's opened doors for me. At least that's how I see it.
It's made a world of difference for Charles. The way that they work with their kids, they're just so patient. It's amazing to watch them interact and coach the kids.
Abilities Tennis is so important to my daughter and my family because it gives Gabrielle an outlet to be with other friends, to participate in a sport where she would not get that chance otherwise. You know, people with special needs don't get many opportunities, and this tennis club gives her so many opportunities. She has the best time. She can't wait until tennis day. She's ready. She has her tennis packed, her racket packed, her water bottle ready, her bag. She's ready to go. She can't wait to get here. So it's a very important program.
He seemed like he was just blooming when he got on the court, because the coaches were there. I saw one of them, in fact, was, attending to him one-on-one, and which made him feel so much more proud of himself,
It opened up a whole nother world for Addie. In her mind, she's a great tennis player, and of course, she thinks she's winning all the time, and more power to her, because that's what I want to do. I want to win too, and when I hit a good shot, it makes me excited, and when she hits a good shot, she gets excited.
So this has worked out very well for her. Plus, she really likes it. She likes the ability to deal with other people, and she likes everything that goes on with tennis.
I think my favorite part is everybody accepting Courtney as she is. Because it's been rough. Because when she was in school, she tried out for different things and she didn't qualify. And so now she's around other athletes that are very high functioning, and they accept her as she is, and that she feels like part of the community. Whereas before, she was just a deaf kid, that couldn't do anything. And now, she's playing tennis.
We were so moved by that. And right there, that's why your donations, your contributions, that's why we're so indebted to all our sponsors and donors, because of what we do here with Abilities Tennis. It's all about our athletes. And everything that we do, we make sure that it's free of charge to any of our participants, and that's why it's so important that you donate for us tonight. And we've made it very easy. Just go to your phone right there. That's the donate button. You go to your phone, you press that donate button, and donate. That's what we want you to do tonight, because what you do when you donate, you're supporting all those programs for Abilities Tennis. Every little bit counts. I know a lot of people say, well, I only have $10, I only have $20, I only have $100. That's good too, but every little bit counts, because when you make a donation, you fund a need. And don't forget that you're also making a donation when you fund our silent auction tonight. So I hope you've been checking that out. That will go on until 8:30 tonight. So you still have an opportunity to bid on some of those wonderful prizes in the silent auction. We promised you a raffle. Well, here we go. We've got a winner. We've got the lovely Miss Diana showing off the amazing bottle of wine, the Cabernet Sauvignon, and this really popular bottle of bourbon. And we've got winners. Drum roll, please. Well, in your head, drum roll. Here we go. Blanton's Bourbon is going to Karen Cody. How about that? Congratulations, Karen. You get that amazing bottle of bourbon. Now, the Crow's Cabernet Sauvignon, that is going to Linda Fapiano. Linda Fapiano. Thank you so much, Ms. Diane. Listen, we hope that you've had a good time with us tonight. We've had watch parties all over the state. We had watch parties in Waynesville. We had watch party here in Cary. We had watch parties in Raleigh. We had one right here at North Hills Club, and we hope you had a great time and you understand how important your donations are to us. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce to you the Executive Director of Abilities Tennis. Let's welcome Lou Welsh.
Hey Ken, thank you so much for emceeing tonight.
My pleasure.
And I'd also like to thank John Isner. I'd like to thank North Hills Club for hosting us. I'd like to thank the Board of Directors, the Footprints Committee. Special thank you to Diana Yenny and Megan Kofod for working so hard on this event. And also thank you to everyone attending. There's so many people throughout the state who are watching, and it's our tennis community. Thanks for coming behind Abilities Tennis and helping us so much. I can't thank you enough. And as we know how important community is, because many of us find our community through tennis, and it's the same for these athletes. It's so special to see them. And you know, honestly, tennis is just the vehicle to these athletes having an opportunity to socialize, to exercise, to hone a sport, which increases their self-esteem, and it just improves their overall well-being. And so our program, as it just continues to grow and expand, it's amazing. We have over 500 athletes. They're waiting list for people to get into these clinics. And we want it to grow. We want everybody with an intellectual disability to have the opportunity to play tennis and be a part of this community. And so I thank you all for your time tonight to watch and listen. You know, during this time of COVID, I'm always looking for something positive, and this is a positive that we are able to go virtual and share what we're doing throughout the state. And so thank you so much for donating, for being with us here tonight. I can't tell you how much it means to us, and you're going to hear from our athletes tonight right now saying thank you.
I'll just say thank you because you're awesome and you're really cool.
Well, thank you for your donation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving.
Well, I want to say thanks to everybody to help donate money for the tennis tournament, and hopefully we'll keep this program going.
Thank you is not enough. You know, multiple thank yous. It may not be even enough, but we appreciate what you do, and please give.
Thank you for giving.
Thank you very, very much. I bet we will use this for good.
Thank you very much for giving.
Thank you so much for supporting and supporting Abilities Tennis, and it just touched my heart so much. Thank you.
I would like to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, you know, because the money you're giving is going out to help those kids, you know, just to better themselves.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving.
And if you can provide some time and some effort to make their lives and the lives of their family members better, boy, that's an easy investment to make. That is a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.